Hi, I'm Pat Fiume. I've been a realtor for over 30 years. I'm a host of the American Dream Show. Welcome to my show, Is This for Real Estate? All right, welcome back. I'm here with Cheryl Lamantia. She's a realtor with RE/MAX Preferred, which is under the same umbrella and same broker as RE/MAX of Cherry Hill, who I work for. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a little different for me to be here with you on camera because usually I'm helping you behind camera with all your different productions for the American Dream and different projects that we work on together. And so it's a little different to be on camera versus behind the...
You're the behind the scenes support, and Cheryl actually helps me on my American Dream show as a production assistant and background and all kinds of different stuff. She's a big help and keeps me in line when I forget something to do. She reminds me, so she's a big help that way too.
I'd say the learning curve that us realtors are trying to follow, because now everything is video and we're not video people. We're not used to being filmed. We're not used to seeing ourselves or hearing ourselves talk.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, we've learned to adapt as realtors over the years.
You have to.
We have
want
to
stay in business,
right? And this new, since COVID, trying to reach the buyers and the sellers, and being able to be on camera, showing our listings and educating people on the real estate business. It's interesting, how everything has evolved to that, and learning to get on board with it.
And I think as our buyers get younger and younger, generational, it's more and more video because they grow up with more and more video and computerized things. It seems like a couple years ago, everything was digital ads or Facebook, just regular ads were enough. Now you have to have short videos or something, to keep you more current. And it's really hard for older agents to adapt to being on front of a camera. Right? I'm actually very shy, but you can't tell. But I am, and I know you are too.
Well, you're doing a good job, and it really is interesting to see as we're all trying and we're all learning. Everyone's so supportive,
Yes, they are.
To just see us take on different new challenges.
So, talking about getting buyers into houses or getting them houses, Cheryl is the main agent that helps me at the new construction site that I have, the Estates at Oldman's Creek. It's out in Pedricktown, New Jersey. We did our first American Dream show there. We had a lot of fun. We had a Salem County Commissioner there, and he talked about the historic things that had happened there. And we visited a winery, and then we found a horse farm next door. And you and your husband had went and scouted locations, and some of your pictures made it onto TV of the park down the street and a Pedricktown Day, which was a big fair that took place every year.
That's a lot of fun. I have to say I was very surprised because it's a small country town that we have the new construction site, and I thought it was going to be like a little small fair, and it was huge. It was big. They had a lot there to do. I'm going to go back again this spring, and so sometimes people think when you're out in the country that there isn't a lot going on, but
there is. The Estates at Oldman's Creek, everybody's like, it's in the middle of nowhere. It's a new construction development. We just opened phase 2. We have 15 lots left and 2 spec houses. We had a total of 48 homes. We sold out phase 1, but a lot of the comments we get are, it's in the middle of nowhere, or there's just a blinking light in the town, and post office, a bank, but it is a very rural, cute little area. And I have a little brochure. If anybody's interested, they can call me or Cheryl. But this is a model. I did this for one of the magazines. It shows some of our models. This is our brochure. If somebody comes down to the site, you like to request a brochure. We have all the models in here, price listing, maps, etc., lot premiums. So we're really been getting into phase 2 now. We just opened up phase 2 for deposits. Very recently, and we've been starting to do a lot of tours again. We've been a little rusty because we sold out phase 1 so fast, that we had a lull in between phase 1 and phase 2 as he built all those houses. So
when we started, of course, there was nothing there.
Yeah, there was a soybean field.
So
Yeah.
to see it grow into a neighborhood, and
It's been very interesting to watch.
and watching all the neighbors connect with each other, and just
Yeah.
it's a little community, and
Yeah.
that's just been kind of very rewarding for
And
both
the-
you and I.
Yeah, and the
see
people
that.
become like friends. Like they used to come visit us when we had a sales office before we
Yes.
sold it. They would come visit us. All the kids knew where the snack drawer was, or where we had the juice or the water, or
And we had a bathroom.
and we had a bathroom.
That was important for everyone.
Yeah,
They'd
yeah.
come and they'd have their family members sometimes stop by and,
Yep.
see their house as it was
As it progressed,
evolving,
yeah.
being constructed. And
They actually became like friends to us. So
Yeah.
we know them all now. When we go show houses of phase 2 or tours, they're all waving to us,
Oh.
saying hi. It's really cute.
absolutely.
The other thing I want to touch on is we've been working on the American Dream. I was selected as a host back in September, October, and we just filmed our 4th show, and it's been a lot of fun working on that, and just even the experience of seeing an Emmy-nominated show. It's really amazing. We're learning so much even from that.
It's true. And to see when the whole show comes together, the final cut, because we're there for hours, and
5 hours or more of filming.
and how the production team pulls it together to just
5 minutes.
and they do such a beautiful job. It really is.
It's interesting to see
something.
what they pick
It
and
is.
things like that.
When I watch TV now, I'm watching interviews and things, and I can really relate to
And you can relate.
how they
Yep.
are doing all that, and that's a kind of a nice
It's interesting.
experience for
Yeah.
us to see that kind
Even
of.
you can see like, oh, that's B-roll. Like if we see background
Yeah.
shots when they're doing an interview, my husband's like, God, you sound like someone on TV. Like I said, that's
Right.
B-roll, and this is that, and it's like, wow, Also, it's been really interesting all the behind-the-scenes things that we're learning. Like we went to the winery and the vineyard and watched them how they turned the grapes into the wine, and it was really interesting walking through the vineyards and them explaining the different types of grapes to us. And
It really was to see how they kind of took all the grapes and pushed them into the machine.
yeah, they
and-
just threw bushels of them at a time,
Yeah,
and,
just-
and they scorched them, and then they went through a hose and all this stuff.
They were so nice to share all that with us, and we would
really
never.
was interesting.
We would never have seen
Oh,
that
yeah.
anywhere. And then we were watching them make all the candies. It reminded me of an episode of I Love Lucy, where all
Yeah,
the
where they're
little
all eating the candy
were-
like this, and they're trying to stop them, and
Coming
their
out.
mouths are like a chipmunk with
They-
all the candy in there.
They were letting us pull them and taste them right
Yeah,
off the little.
right off the conveyor belts almost.
Right. So many.
That was
things.
interesting to
Yeah.
watch. And then they had that big urn, looked like a witch's brew or something, where he was making the caramel.
Yeah, and
And he had to keep stirring. And he wouldn't, and I'm trying to get her. He's like, get away, you're going to
Yeah.
get burned, And then,
We don't want to
and then
splash
the aunt that never did anything, she started stirring so I could give them the plaque that I
Right.
give the people that come on the show. And he goes, I have to get a picture of that because she's never touched anything at work or something. And then we had the Forgotten Boardwalk Brewery in Cherry Hill. It was really cool. I didn't realize how much alcohol content there was in beer because we hadn't eaten all day or drank anything.
This is true.
And Bob, the videographer, had to go get his aerials because it was nighttime. It was getting dark and he had to hurry up and go get them. So we were waiting for him at the brewery. And we were all thirsty. We were drinking at the bar. I drank a big glass of beer. Later, my kid said to me, Mom, don't you realize there's like 4 times the alcohol in that kind of beer? I downed 1 glass real quick, and then I got a half a glass, and he came in, he's like, what is, like, he asked my daughter, Rachel was there, he's like, what's wrong with your mother? Like, he knew something was off, and we tried to do the ending real quick after he did some other photos there, and Cheryl and Lainey, the photographer, my daughter, Rachel, and somebody else, there's Abby Kohler, my friend, the attorney, the 4 of you were sitting behind me. And I'm like, I was buzzed from the beer, like I'm a lightweight drinker, and
we were too, because while you were doing your thing, they were giving us all these little samples of all the different beers
Oh my
to
God.
sample, and I
Yeah.
never realized how many different flavors or
yeah,
different types of.
it's really interesting. And we got to walk around like all the vats in the back. That was
Oh,
kind of
they
cool
were
to see
huge.
that. They're enormous. Yeah,
We opened that door and they were just enormous.
three quarters or 4. Most of the whole business is the vats.
Yeah.
We're getting
That
to see
type of
all the
thing.
behind the scenes stuff that nobody else gets to see, and it's really been cool.
And their personal
experience.
stories.
Yes, and we're finding they become like friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Facebook friends, I think, with most of the people now. They comment on stuff or they like stuff, you know.
I love when we were there filming and we were leaving. We were shot all day, and at night the sunset was just coming over
It was
as
beautiful.
we're leaving the horse farm. It was just gorgeous.
Oh, the shot that he got of the horses where the head turned, there was a sun was there setting, and the horses turned his head and the sun came through under his mane or his neck. They actually use that on the American Dream, all the sizzle reels and all the show promos for South Jersey. That's at the end. He used that shot from where the fences meet and the horse's head in the sunlight. Oh, it was such a beautiful shot.
Beautiful.
So you've been doing this a long time. What's your go-to story that you tell, or do you have a recent funny story about something that happened with real estate related?
Well, I would say recently my most fun time and kind of experience that was actually one we shared together, selling houses at the estates at Old Mince Creek. We had a period of time where we got very busy because there was all of a sudden a shortage of inventory. All of a sudden we sold our first sample home to a family who just needed a quick delivery property. She was very pregnant and the builder kind of felt sympathetic, and he agreed to sell it to her because he was building the second sample next door. However,
February,
as you will remember, we had no heat and
no plumbing,
and we were in there in our winter jackets,
freezing,
having open houses, giving tours.
I remember you and Rich were keeping people, her husband, Rich is a realtor too, keeping people occupied. We had people like 8 to 10, 15 people at a time, sometimes deep. And I was doing the estimates in the garage and it was freezing. Yeah.
And we try to give people coffee and give them some snacks and keep them busy.
And I went and bought space heaters to heat the garage up, because we were in the garage was the sales office and it was freezing. And the people, like, if they cried, tears would freeze on their face. It was that cold.
We don't ever want to find ourselves in that
position again. Yeah, I don't kind of like them.
We really had a lot of adventures.
Yes, we definitely did.
You know, a lot of funny stuff happened.
A
lot of mud and a lot of dirt and
the appraiser.
The appraiser getting stuck in the mud. And
we had an appraiser after it rained. Right? He got stuck. He went around the house and he lost his shoes in the mud and he got so mad. He went and got a pair of boots. Al was telling us the story. And he was dying laughing, and the appraiser goes around again and he's sunk in the red mud. And they had to get a rope and pull him out because it had just rained and it was all under excavation. The mountains of dirt, he had to go around the house, and they had to get a pulley system to get him out. So I guess in ending this, we'll say we're open for phase 2. If you want to give me or Cheryl a call, we're working the site together by appointment because we don't have a model home yet. We're going to hope to have a grand reopening in June, when he finishes our new models. But at this point right now we're working by appointment and showing homes under construction. We do have a couple of homeowners who are letting us show their house on occasion, but we don't like to bother them too much, you know. But we do have some houses that have gotten to the point where they're sheetrock now, so you can get a good idea of what's available. And we also have a couple resales too.
But bring comfortable shoes.
Yes, definitely wear comfortable shoes to walk on the dirt and the stones. And well, thank you so much for being here. It was a lot of fun. We've been having a lot of adventures together.
Yes.
More to come. We're going to be filming again in a couple weeks for the American Dream, and this one's going to be an interesting one. We're going to keep that a little bit tight, but I think people are going to love this next one. And
it's going to be good.
I think you're in the bar scene there at the back with our special guest we had there. My husband shows pictures at work. I'm at work and my wife's at bars. He keeps showing the pictures of me at the bars or the wineries or breweries.
We got some tastings there as well.
Oh, we've had some fun. We've had too much fun, I think, doing this.
It has been a good adventure. Fun adventure.
It's been a lot of fun. Well, thank you for being here.
Thank you.